In a world full of video games last year. Join us to talk about those games. That's right. You found Neon Pocket Dimension somewhere on the internet. Congratulations. My name is Jacob.
Woohoo!
I got Miguel there in the middle.
What's going on, guys?
He's waving at you. You got Gage down there. Luke shot first. You know,
Hey there, hi there.
the I don't know. What other titles do you have? The Halo headshotter? Is that
Sure.
something?
Yeah, maybe like
What are you?
I prefer the like the shotgun is really my gun in Halo. So maybe like the Halo spraying and praying Halo playing.
No. We'll say the shotgun blasting brand new fathering Luke
Okay,
shot
well.
first.
Shotgun blasting baby
Baby
Oh, you're talking about that shotgun?
dadding.
pasting.
Baby dadding.
I gotta work it out. I'll work out the rhyme.
Jesus Christ. I've had barely no caffeine today, so excuse me for my not so much energy that I have, but I got a Coke, so
What are you drinking, Gage?
we'll see.
I'm
See
drinking
what
an
happens.
Ooh.
Energy drink. Well, he said I'm drinking an energy drink, and then his internet said, "No,
And
fuck you." Try again.
What was?
Oh.
Yeah, try again.
Gage?
Oh, he's still
Can I
frozen.
really just do that right off the bat?
Twice.
Whack.
Double. Welcome to 2023, the year of the internet, people.
With the same shitty internet as 2022.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, did I really? I just jetted out just like
Yeah.
that right in the beginning.
So what do you got going on there, bud?
Sorry, dude. I'm drinking this weird. It's a sake actually. It's a Easy Cup Morimoto Junmai sake, and I squirted a lime in it. It's really good.
Interesting.
Is that the one that has like almost like the foil on top, and you peel it, and it's a glass?
Yeah, super to-go
Nice.
cup style. I like it a lot. It's good for driving. Don't do that. Just kidding.
You can buy those in Yakuza Like a Dragon. Also, we've bought one of those before. Did we fully lose Gage?
He's gone, dude.
No.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Hold on.
He's
What
back
the
again.
Full-blown disconnect. God.
This is what we get for talking shit about the internet.
God, way to start it off strong, Discord.
Welcome
Jesus Christ.
to a new year
Ah, man.
in the dimension.
I'm paranoid. I'm gonna check my sleep.
Jacob also has a bit of a cold going on, so he might be having a coughing fit.
I'm
at
gonna
any
have to
point,
wash
just
this
letting
microphone later, I think.
you know. Oh,
Gage,
God. Oh,
Gage,
God.
why don't you take over? And if you disconnect,
Yeah,
that's
I'll
on you. That one's on you. But you take over
That
for
is-
right now.
That is on me. Welcome back to Neon Pocket Dimension. It's the year 2023, believe it or not. Thanks for bearing with us the last couple of weeks while we took some much-needed time off to hang out with family, get sick with not COVID, luckily, but sick nonetheless, and just take a little break from all of the production and planning and everything that goes into it. So we had a nice little break for the holidays, and now we're back to today. We're gonna do our titular Wibe New and our patented segments of those sorts, but we're also going to talk Game of the Year and also award some other fun little awards to some other games. Just pretty much talk all the goodness from last year. So
Yep. I like that. Yeah. And then remember, Neon Pocket Dimension. It's a dimension where you could be nerdy, something like that, right?
Mentioned.
Yeah,
And it's neon.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about pocket dimensions. They're not in a pocket. Like, they're not in, like,
No.
Miguel's physical pocket right now, all right? They might be in a backspace, though. They could be in a bag of holding. What do you guys think?
I mean, it would be nice if you had a pocket that was an entire dimension, so you could like just drop endless things into that pocket.
How about a pair of jeans with a pocket that is a bag of holding?
Yeah, well, then that's just a pocket dimension.
Okay.
Thank you very
Pocket
much.
The neon sign on the outside, making it a neon pocket.
Yes. make the person radioactive. You know what I mean?
No, just a little sign on the pocket.
Oh, okay.
I've got a neon sign right here. So if I put it in my pocket, and something happens where an
And your
interdimensional
pocket happens
thing
to be a
happens.
bag of holding.
I got
Yeah,
something in
then
my
I-
pocket, and I want you to look at it.
Yes, perfect.
Guys, I think it's time to talk about what we've been nerding out on. Which
Yeah.
that's Vibe New, guys. That's Vibe New. If you ever hear us talking about the Vibe New, that's what it is.
Patent pending.
What you been
But-
nerding out on, man? We haven't seen each other in a while. We've been busy with the holidays, right? So I feel like that's part of nerding out. What else? What else we got, guys? What you been nerding out on?
TV. I watched half of Andor. I haven't finished it yet though.
Oh,
And then I watched a really bad sci-fi movie, which what I generally do.
nice.
Called Occupation Rainfall.
Okay.
It's an Australian sci-fi movie. It's fucking terrible, but apparently it's a sequel to a movie called Occupation.
Okay.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
But, what's it? Boba Fett's in it. The
Oh,
New Zealand actor. Whose
Bubba.
name I
Wow.
don't remember right now.
Bubba Fat.
Yeah, Boba Fett. Yeah, he's in it.
How fat
It
was
was
he?
okay. It was pretty bad.
Pretty bad movie.
It's pretty bad. It's not good in any way, really. It's just bad.
What's it even about, dude? Like anything?
Like aliens come and they take over Earth essentially, and they're fighting them.
Oh,
And Ken Jeong's in it, which I thought was really odd.
Ken
That
Jeong.
is so odd.
Yeah, Ken Jeong's in it.
Okay.
No other super famous people other than
Sab-
Boba Fett and Ken Jeong.
Saban
Yeah,
made that shit.
Saban. It was distributed in America by Saban.
I can't believe
This
Saban's
one
still
and the
around.
second- and the first one.
Still just localizing shit, and you know what I mean. That's what Saban's been doing since the beginning.
Oh, absolutely.
John.
Wow, what a
So it's pretty
dog
bad.
shit movie.
Andor's good though. I need to get back to it.
Yay.
Nice.
I need to finish that. And then I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
The only game I've really played is High on Life.
Ooh yeah.
It's very like you were saying when you guys originally were talking about it. It's kind of like just like a straight shooter. There's nothing really crazy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that about it. It's fun. My only issue is it's kind of buggy in some instances.
Yeah.
Like I was in one area, and I was trying to go to another area, and it wouldn't load properly.
Oh really?
So I had to just like
God damn it.
go to my last checkpoint and then like warp back to the house and then warp to where I wanted to on the planet.
Yeah.
So no big deal. That guy's hilarious when you get him the drum and he's doing the. I don't know if you've done
The
that.
shotgun guy?
Oh, that's so funny.
The NPC.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know what you're talking
wait,
about.
the drum guy when you could talk to him a bunch of times.
There's like a quest. You get him a drum, then he starts playing. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, but then after he plays the drum, if you keep talking to the other guy,
Uh-huh.
he says like about 30 different lines, and it was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Overall, the game's fun. I like
Fun
it.
game.
It's been a good time. I plan on finishing it. I don't
Mhm.
know why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play this one. It seems easy enough to beat. It's not very long. I'm near the end. I'm just collecting most of the treasure chests at this point on one
Nice.
more planet, and then I'm pretty much done.
Those
Okay.
What's
those are fun.
what's your
Ned.
favorite gun?
I'd have to
Impressive.
say probably Kenny.
Me too. It's hard to get off of him, right? Just because he seems like such a companion. You know what I mean?
And I
Just
feel
Justin
like he's
Roiland.
like, yeah,
You know?
he's the sidekick of the game.
Why would you not want
Exactly.
to hang out with Justin Roiland in your hand for like hours? You know what I mean? Makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, just a tiny Justin Roiland that shoots from his butt.
Yeah. Well, at one point, I heard a line where he's like, you know, in case you're wondering, we can just like crawl around and stuff. Like, you know, I don't need you to hold me. I could just crawl around and get around on my own. But, you know, it's nice being held.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Just like, I fucking love this game. I just barely got JB Smooth. AKA the shotgun.
Nice.
It's a good ass weapon.
I don't know who the actress is, but the one who plays like the needler weapon, she also will say some stuff like that where she's just like, "Oh, I'm so glad you picked me over all those other guys. I'm so glad you're holding me," like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's good, dude. Just keep playing it. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm
it's
going
funny.
to.
Some really fucked up shit happens, and
Yeah,
with the
that's good
Muppets.
stuff.
It constantly does.
Yeah, seriously.
I just barely killed the drill guy, basically. So that's where I'm at. You know, that's when you get the shotgun right there. And I'm just slowly making my way through that game, because there's just too many fucking games to play.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Awesome.
I'm sure I've watched some other shit. Oh, I started watching that Miss Cleo documentary. I fell asleep though.
Miss Cleo documentary?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's on HBO Max.
Wow. Is this like framed as like a scam thing or just like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Apparently she's not even Jamaican, which we all should have known from the get-go. And like I said, I didn't finish it. I'm probably like a quarter of the way to halfway through. It's pretty interesting. I've always kind of liked Miss Cleo in the sense of that it was always just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like back when I played WoW, I actually made a female orc shaman, and I named her Miss Cleo.
Oh God.
She was level 1, and then you could. I never really did it, but I was like, I'm gonna spam general and just be like, I know the future. Tell me, and then like charge gold.
Yep. Give people like fortunes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
That's funny. I would watch a stream about that. You know what I mean?
So
I'd watch a video of some guy doing that.
That's pretty interesting. I want to finish that at some point. Because yeah, it was a total scam apparently. Which is fine.
Big fucking surprise. Everything's a scam.
Right?
Everything's a scam.
Well, that whole psychic network thing was the scam to begin with. I mean, she just kind of...
Come on.
She got super famous off it.
That's a network of people that know how to use your feelings against you and steal your money.
Well, I guess there was people were getting the jobs just answering ads.
Uh-huh. Oh.
And there was no training. There was just like a script. There was a script and you were like, oh, hi, thanks for calling Psychic Friends Network. What do you want to talk about today? And then you let them talk. And then it kind of gives you like a step-by-step of what to ask them.
No shit.
Love it.
People were like, we're not trained at all.
Oh, dude, I want to get my hands on that document. I want to get my hands on that document. Like, I worked in a call center, and I remember, like, it was a call center third party, right? So they had, like, multiple places they were working for. And the DirecTV people, they had script after script, dude. Like, they didn't know shit. They just were like, wait, you said this? Hold on. Okay, did you do this or do that? Do this step? That's why whenever you, like, do actually physically call into somewhere, they say the dumbest shit to you because they are just dumb people reading from a list and not actually, like, comprehending what the words they're saying. You know, there's no.
Yeah, it's all like listicle, like, oh, like if this then that type of thing. But like, it's so...
No one actually knows the fucking craft. They're just reading from a list. It's really funny that the psychic hotline is the same exact way.
It's the same shit, dude.
Of course it is.
And guaranteed the sex call lines were the same shit.
Okay, now that's.
Oh, I bet.
They had to have
That's interesting to me. You think they're all saying the same shit?
Yeah.
They're all saying
I'm
the
sure
exact
they'd
same
improvise
lines.
a little more.
Yeah, there's got to be a little improv. Like, oh yeah, I'm sure you are a big boy there, James. I'm sure you are a big boy.
But it is probably just like, say big boy a lot, insert name here type of thing. Like, you know,
if they sound like they eat cheeseburgers for every meal, please say big boy to them. It turns them on. It fucking turns them on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man.
So same shit, but
Miss
yeah,
Cleo.
interesting stuff, man.
That is
Cool.
Gage, what you got?
Let's see. What did I get into over break? I got really back into The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The next gen update came out, so I've been playing that on the Series X, and it sucked me in super hard. I was like hoping to clean up a lot of the other games on here that I kind of wanted to like consider for game of the year. I was hoping to play like Pentiment and Vampire Survivor and Citizen Sleeper and some other stuff, but Witcher 3 unfortunately got its hooks in me, and so I probably put like about like 50 hours into that game, something like that.
50 hours. I wish I had 50 hours
maybe,
to play video games over the last
may,
2 weeks.
maybe not 50. Maybe not 50. That's probably a little overzealous, but
Yeah.
it felt like a decent amount of nights I put a couple hours into that game, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a good RPG. Like I was tempted not to like to just kind of main path it and not do a bunch of side quests, but the thing is about this game is like just being Geralt and being a Witcher and just doing Witcher things is probably the most fun part of the whole game. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just there's just a bunch of weird characters and in a weird world, and you just fight a bunch of cool monsters, and yeah.
You're a Witcher. Why would you not want to do Witcher contracts?
Yeah, exactly.
Come
on.
Come on.
So yeah, it was really fun, and the game holds up. I mean, it still looks great. My uncle was in town for Christmas, and he was watching me play for a little bit, and he was just like, he doesn't like play video games or anything really, and so he was like blown away by the graphics. And I was telling him like, yeah, these are good graphics, but they're not even the best of graphics. And so it was like, he was just like, he was blown away by it, especially like the environments and stuff. So that was cool.
Pretty awesome, dude.
And then I too have been playing High on Life. I'll skip through that because we just talked about it, but really like that game. Like the humor in it's really fun. And
what's your favorite gun?
It is also probably Kenny. I mean, I think maybe like mechanically wise, I do like the needler gun chick. I forget what her name is, but just because the cool like, oh yeah, just because the cool like time slowing mechanic thing. Is good for just like crowd management and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward shooter, so it's not like I'm really finding a ton of challenge or anything in the gameplay, you know?
The juggling aspects is interesting to me.
Yeah, totally.
I'm gonna be honest, I almost never use it.
Oh, I use that shit all the time. Well, as Kenny. You know?
Yeah.
It's helpful, especially against the melee ones that run up at you. Knock them up in the air
with little guys on their hands.
Yeah, the little guys on their hands. Anyway, continue.
No, yeah, for sure. And then I also continued on Plague Tale Requiem, not Innocence, right? Requiem, yes. And that game is amazing. I am kind of bummed I didn't play a little bit more of it because I think, well, I don't think it would beat out Elden Ring. It would be really hard to beat out Elden Ring. But I think elements of that game are like maybe my narrative of the year type of stuff. I don't know. I've hit a few parts in that were like genuinely like really well acted and really like just really good writing. And yeah, it's just a cool game. I played through the first one and that was awesome. But this one's a little more like adventurous and a slightly larger scale. And I think the main actress who plays Amicia like really stepped up her acting chops in this game versus the last one. So
she's great.
yeah, I've been having a blast with that one.
Nice.
And then I'll go through this real quick. But I watched a bunch of movies and TV and stuff. Watched Glass Onion, the Knives Out story. Really enjoyed that one.
Great story.
Awesome,
Great.
awesome cast, hilarious, and just a good story in general.
Man, I still hate The Last Jedi though.
You still hate what?
I still hate The Last Jedi.
See, I think like Ryan, you know what else? I actually watched Looper over this break just one night while I was falling asleep. And I forgot how much I love that movie. Rian Johnson is just good at other stuff, and he should just not tackle big main franchises. That's what I think.
Just stay away from Star Wars, Rian Johnson. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You could do anything else. Anything else.
I don't necessarily think that the sequel trilogy was entirely his fault. I think it was just poor planning all the way around.
Yeah, for sure.
There was no planning.
There was no planning at all, and J.J. Abrams is
no planning.
also to blame. Just because.
Like I think.
just because of
Like
his
I think
contrived approach.
if JJ had taken it from the beginning and was just like, here's a series story arc. Though here's the thing, JJ Abrams always does that thing too, like with Lost, where you're like, this is such a cool setup, and then it just never delivers, type of thing.
I was gonna
I don't
say
know.
he would have given us the exact same trilogy as the first one.
Yeah.
Same movies.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's why I also didn't like. You know what I mean? I don't like the sequel trilogy. We just watched them. We just watched all 9.
Nice.
Last Jedi still is up there for me. I'm sorry.
You don't be sorry.
One of the best ones.
You could like it. Movie's fucking
I actually
steaming
like
pile of dog
I like
shit.
I like elements of it too. But ultimately the sequel trilogy was pretty disappointing. I mean,
Absolutely.
I definitely like what Rian Johnson was trying to do, shake things up and make it interesting. I just think that the sequel trilogy sucks, period. You know what I mean? You can't do much with a shitty product.
Say if Last Jedi was a standalone movie,
Oh, it would be excellent.
pretty fucking solid in my opinion.
Oh yeah, totally excellent. Joy and I were just talking about this. We're like, if only they just gave Rian Johnson like a side movie to just shine, just like Rogue One. You know what I mean? Just do something interesting. You know what I mean? But damn, do I hate that movie. I just watched it
coming
again.
back.
I just
Why do
watched
you
it
hate
again.
it so much. I don't understand.
It's just bad, dude. Everything about it's bad.
Like what?
Just everything. Name a thing. I don't like it. I don't like their
don't know.
portrayal of Luke Skywalker. I don't like what happens in that movie. I don't like that there's this focus on fuel all of a sudden, something that never happened in Star Wars. You know what I mean? I don't like the writing is bad. You know what I mean? Like the things that the people say in the movie is like,
Where would you
annoying.
rank that movie in that trilogy?
oh, it's number 1.
Okay.
That's the thing. They're all bad.
It is the best one.
It's the best one out of all 3 of them, though, because it's the only movie that does anything. You know what I mean? Because I like what Gage was saying. I like elements of it. You know what I mean? I just, and I like Rian Johnson. We also watched Glass Onion. That movie's kick ass. You know what I mean? Actually, we watched both of them, Knives Out and we watched Glass Onion and then Knives Out, back to back, and I was like, I love this shit, and it just made me think, like, man, if they really, if Rian Johnson just got a Star Wars project, it probably would have worked, but like having to build off of J.J. Abrams' setup, I think it just fucked up.
Ultimately, the issue was there was no setup. He made the same movie as his Last Hope. It's the exact same fucking movie.
A New Hope, but yeah,
and he didn't do anything new or original, and the whole sequel trilogy was nothing but member berries for people.
No, yeah,
and
totally.
that's what pissed me off, and that's why no one likes Last Jedi.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Sure.
It's a shame.
I'm sick of the member berries.
Yeah, well, if the whole trilogy was something new and interesting, it would have been fine. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, end of story.
That's not what the fans want.
Yeah, no, what I want is Jason and Jaina Solo doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would have been nice.
What?
I want Jason and Jaina Solo to exist.
Well, that is no longer canon, friend.
No, I know that. Instead, I'm left with whatever the fuck happened.
You know what I
Babu
want
Freak.
really badly?
Babu Freak was cool though. I'll give you that. The little fucking guy. That guy's hilarious. Sorry.
He was cool, and then that one chick on the planet that had like the Power Rangers looking outfit thing with the cool gun that like hinted at having some history with Poe Dameron. I liked her too. You know what I really want? I don't know if you guys ever read these as a youngster. I guess I don't know exactly when they came out, but I read them as a kid. The Galaxy of Fear series. Did you guys ever read that? They were like Goosebumps, but for Star Wars. They were like little kids novels. No. I would love an anthology series of Star Wars horror stories. I think that'd be really fun.
I would personally give me something not connected to this timeline at all.
That's what they're doing next.
Totally.
That's what they're doing next, Miguel.
I don't need to know the characters. I don't want to know the characters. I don't want to know the timeline.
Yeah.
Give me something fucking new.
Well, okay, they're going forward with the golden age of the Jedi time period, which is like either 100 years before the Battle of Yavin or 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin.
See, and I'm okay with that, but I also don't want them to shove member berries into it.
No, I just want to see.
They will.
Dude, it's like the game Star Wars: The Old Republic. I really liked that game because the story was interesting, because it was fascinating to see like the Sith fucking society and how they did everything, and the Jedi society, and like what it's like to actually have a full on like Sith and Jedi faction kind of doing things throughout the galaxy. I found that to be very interesting. And
like arguably more of a balanced force than the so-called prophecy of the balanced force, for sure.
Yeah, what is the balance of the force, dude? So what, you're not allowed to have the dark? I want to see Jedi or like something new, like something's that's in between a Jedi and a fucking Sith. That's actual balance, right?
We already
during
right with Mace Windu. Mace Windu was supposed to be that way.
Oh, he's supposed to be both.
And you had the Gray Jedi, which was like a class of Jedi back in the High Republic era. That's like that uses the dark side but hasn't succumbed to it, sort of thing.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's what we need. I feel like that's the next level of the Force, is to strip Star Wars out of this black versus white bullshit and like make it more
how about
human.
Strip Star Wars of the Jedi, and give me more stories just about the universe.
Yeah, well, that was the problem with Star Wars Galaxies, that MMO, right? Like, it started like that, and then they added Jedi in as like a long quest, and then everyone wanted to be Jedi, and then the whole thing just became about being a Jedi.
Well, of course.
And it's just because that's all people want from Star Wars is Jedi shit. I'm like, don't get me wrong, like, who doesn't like, space wizards with laser swords? I mean, that's cool and all, but like, I think the compelling stories to tell we already know about these bigger than life Force characters. Let's hear some smaller stories and stuff. And that brings me to Gundam, right? I finally finished ZZ Gundam, and I started watching the MS Igloo OVA series. There's 9 total. It's basically like 3 series, 3 OVAs each. And it's an interesting kind of retelling of the time of the 1 year war, which is like, the time period of the first Gundam series, but from like the point of view of like just normal soldiers and like what that entails. So like the first 2 chunks of the OVA are about like a experimental weapon kind of unit branch of the what do you call them? The Xeon forces, who are like the bad guys. But then you're like rooting for these people because they're just people. You know what I mean? They're not really like bad. They're just on one side of a war. But their whole thing is like testing all these weird ass weapons and stuff, and like what happens there. And then the third OVA series in there was more interesting. It was called like the Gravitational Force Core or something like that. And it was just about like Earth soldiers essentially having to fight battles against big robots. And so like they're like,
whoa,
like the robots are destroying them, but they're just like foot soldiers. And like, so one of the episodes is just them taking down one Zaku, which Amuro Ray destroys like a whole bunch of those, throughout the show. So it's like really interesting to see that. There's a whole episode about like just a guy in a tank battling,
cool.
a massive, mobile suit, and just like all of the, how hard that is to do and all the shit that goes down because of it. It's really interesting, like storytelling, more so than the grandiose, like, chosen one hero story we always get. So it's cool that they have that kind of storytelling in there as well. Currently I'm watching Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt, December Sky. Whoa. Jesus Christ, these Japanese people and their crazy names for stuff is intense. Can you hear me? Am I still here?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Just making sure because I didn't know if my internet cut out.
Just meditating on all of this Gundam knowledge you're dropping on us.
No, it's because my kilobits per second dropped to 0 there for a second. I just want to make sure. But
got you.
Thunderbolt is also from that time period, but like about a space colony you never really hear about. And so far it's pretty interesting. But like what I like about Gundam in general is that it's not just like Luke Skywalker versus the evil stormtroopers. You know what I mean? It's like literally every episode of Gundam, you see the one side of the war and what they're doing, the other side of the war and what they're doing. and it's always been that way even since the first series. And I like that. Like, you got to like show all like war is hell. Like, there's clear bad guys sometimes in war, but like at the end of the day, it's like people murdering each other for whatever reason they find to be like important to them, and it's great to show like both sides of that, and the humanity there. And also, I didn't realize this, but in Japan, I guess Gundam is like their version of Star Wars because it's that big out there.
Yeah,
I read that
it makes sense. There's a literal giant Gundam on one side of the river, and
hey, man, it's not
Akihabara.
It's not little. It's life size. It's pretty big. I think it's the
I said literal. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Sorry. The RX-782, I believe, which is the original Gundam. But the more of these shows I watch, the more I'm like, holy fuck. There's way too many mobile suits to remember. But I did make a spreadsheet today of all the series, and I can start crossing them off. Now that I'm done with CZ. And
how many are there? Do you know off the top of your head?
Like 50 or something like that. Shows. I'm gonna skip out on some of the optional ones, at least until the very end, and definitely the Hour Century timeline, which is like literally Hour Century, right? Which is like shows about Gunpla. You know what Gunpla is, Miguel? I'm sure you both know like what it actually is, which is like the model building of Gundams.
Yep.
That's pretty big, right? Where you get a box and it's just full of like parts, and it's just like any other model building. If you're like model building an airplane or something, only you're building Gundams. That it has its own word in Japanese called Gunpla. Don't ask me. And there's shows about that or something. There's like multiple series about like people who build Gunpla and do something with it.
What?
Also, video game stuff, and you're like,
I made this Boba Fett that way. It was a full-on model kit Boba Fett. That was pretty fun.
Sick. I like it.
Painted?
Yeah. No, it's like the plastic is this color, and I'm supposed to put decals on it, but I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
I hate stickers, dude. It's my least favorite part about Lego building because I'm just bad at them. Not because the stickers are bad, it's just because I'm bad.
Yeah, I might paint it instead. Anyways, video games.
Well, all right, just to finish my Gundam thought, because clearly that's what I've been nerding out on.
Sure.
There's like several timelines, but the main timeline is called the Universal Century. So that's what I'm sticking to. I'm not, like I said, not doing the Gunpla stuff. I could save that till later. And then between that and the other shows, it's really not so bad when you actually look at like, all of the series and stuff. So it's just the Universal Century. There's so many OVAs and like movies and stuff, and it's like hard to wrangle them all up to actually watch. So that's kind of the challenge right now. But so far, Zeta Gundam is probably my favorite.
Nice.
But I don't know though, because the Gundam Origin is really good too. So I think it's between those two so far. And then video game wise, I've been so busy. Barely played any games. Definitely played some more Vampire Survivors. I've unlocked some more stuff. The more of that game you play, the more you realize how much shit is in it. So I'll say like, if you've just played a little bit and you're like, well, whatever, it's cool, I'm gonna keep collecting guys. Dude, keep playing it. You'll realize there's a lot more levels than you thought, and stuff to collect, and more characters. And the big problem with that game is like trying to figure out what combinations of things evolve with. Weapons, which you need weapon evolutions to be able to like beat levels. So I literally have a text file, a notepad document, where I notate like, it wasn't this one, it wasn't that one. So I'm like, I'm trying not to go online and look up the combinations. I'm just like testing them out and stuff. So I'm really struggling with the red and blue wing thing. They got weird ass names. Yeah. Also the pentagram, I'm gonna figure that one out. I haven't really been going after that. And the clock lancet, does that evolve? I think the clock lancet and the laurel do. If you're listening to this out there, let me know. Maybe you can give me that tip, but I won't go online and look it up.
Hook them up with the knowledge. I know you got to get some garlic. I know you got to get some garlic involved.
Yeah, well, I already figured the garlic one out. I figured a bunch out.
Good.
So we could trade. We could trade information. Besides that, oh yeah, I've been playing SD Gundam Battle Alliance, realizing that game is way longer than I thought. Collecting Gundams and mobile suits in there, having fun with that. Playing Diablo 2 Resurrected, played a little High in Life. Cool. Started up Witcher 3, and the way I'm playing that is with Joy sitting there next to me. And so, like, any dialogue choice that's not just, like, obvious, like, if I'm in a shop or if it's just something where you can just pick one by one and get information. If any, like, dialogue actual option, Joy's picking. So nice. It's a pretty fun situation. So it's going to take me a while to get through that game, I think.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to play.
No, but
yeah, I will.
I
will say this time around too, like after Aishu saw, she watched season 1 and season 2 of The Witcher, and so like on Netflix, and so her like having knowledge of the characters and stuff has actually made her like kind of enjoy couch watching a little bit more. Like if she's like watching something on her iPad or just scrolling her phone or something, she'll like actually be interested when story stuff happens in this game, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I could see how it could work.
Yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, I refuse to play that game unless she's around. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep giving you updates. And then I got the PS5, so I've been gaming on there. I started up God of War Ragnarok. I know it's long as fuck, so I'm gonna not play that. Take a step back and play some shorter experiences on the PS5. So I've been playing Demon Souls, of course.
Ooh,
I'm obsessed with From games. Never played Demon Souls before, so enjoying that. And yeah, I looked up a guide, but only to kind of get the path of how I should be playing it, because it's kind of open in a way that's confusing. But I just have that path of like basically after you beat a boss, you shouldn't keep going in that world. You should move on to the next world and beat each first boss, and then you go back and you beat each second boss. You know what I mean? It's a little it's convoluted and weird, but once I kind of looked that up, I was like, okay, I think we're good, because I was struggling on the Tunnel City, and that's because I wasn't supposed to be there. I was supposed to beat like 5 more bosses first. So
yeah, I think especially in those earlier FromSoft games, like it's wicked obtuse as far as that, like learning about that kind of stuff. So
yeah, and the last game I'll quickly mention is Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. That's the rhythm game where you just like every single song from every Kingdom Hearts game is like a level, like a song to play. It's just like the song from the game, like from the OST, and you're just doing a rhythm game to it. So having fun with that too. Nice. I can't lie, it's pretty fun, especially when you get like I got a full chain one time, which means I didn't miss one.
Damn.
That's it. Yeah. That's it for me.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Well then, I think it's time for topic of the show. Topics. No, just kidding. As you can see, as our for our banner for this episode, if you're watching live on twitch.tv/neonpocketdimension or later on YouTube, I don't know the URL, but Odd Valley Studios.
Yeah. There you go. Just Google Neon Pocket Dimension.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
go into YouTube and search Neon Pocket Dimension.
Ooh. We're gonna talk about some of our best ofs this year. So the way I kind of saw this going, we can, I don't know if we all have like necessarily a top 3 for this year, but I figured we could just like mention 3 games that we each played this year that maybe are our top. And then with number 1 being kind of our game of the year, and like we're not we're here at Neon Pocket Dimension, we're not. We don't play all the games, and we don't have like necessarily, we're certainly not going to be doing anything that's going to influence Metacritic or anything like that. But so we're not going to pick a Neon Pocket Dimension game of the year, but just like figured we could all talk about which games this year, stuck out to us and our playing through them. You know what I mean?
Good one. This one's for you.
And then I oh wow, you got that queued up.
I pulled up my soundboard. Get ready.
Nice.
Here it comes.
And then also we go through and do some kind of unique game awards for the year that are our own personal awards that we can, pretty much give to anything we want. So.
Hell yeah. Miguel, I'm curious what honorable mentions you're going to come out with.
We'll see what happens.
What's this one? Hold on. That's a good one. I got a lot of Mario ones on here now. Like this one?
It sounds like it's mainly Mario currently.
Yeah, it's because, it takes a minute. That one's kind of loud. Sorry.
I hear a bunch of fire alarms going off in my house. I'm going to see if my wife is good and needs help putting out a fire.
Make sure that you're
fine, don't worry
you're
about
not on fire, dude.
I think it's all going to be fine, but I just didn't want to make sure.
That's funny. Here you go. Do you hear that?
I am.
It's kind of a bad sample.
Fire alarms went out, and I'm hearing her doing something in the kitchen. So I think it's all gonna be working.
Oh, maybe she's just cooking.
Are you okay? Do you need help? Okay. Apparently we're all good.
What about this one?
Burning down. That's good.
No burning down the house.
I was doing the fireball sound effect.
I got that. That's good.
Yeah, good job.
Well, do you guys want me to start off with number 3? What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead. You want to start?
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
wait, hold on. So you have your top 3 games ironed out, and you're gonna start with number 3 and work your way back.
I figured, we'd work our way up to number 1, and we can go a little quicker maybe on the 3 and 2, and then talk about our number 1 a little bit more, and then those other kind of games that we're awarding, or whatever, however you guys want to do it.
All right, go ahead. What's your number 3?
All right, cool. My number 3 is Immortality.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of I'll be honest, my number 3 spot has switched around a lot in my mind. It's gone between As Dusk Falls, High on Life, and Immortality. But I just think it was a really unique gaming experience in general. I played it through with my wife, and anytime Aishu and I play a game together, I feel like it's even a different type of rewarding, which is cool. And then it was just really captivating and odd. And then I liked kind of engaging with people after I played it and talking about it and kind of thinking about what they thought. And it was just it was a game that kind of kept unraveling and unraveling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. This is the wrong one.
And there's a moment in that game, without spoiling anything too much, where you kind of figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
To this woman, and some shit kind of clicks, and you're like, what the fuck? And it becomes a completely different experience than you originally thought the game was going to be, type of thing. So, yeah, just a really cool use of the medium, and very strange, but an enjoyable experience, and just it felt cool, being kind of a detective going through all these movies. So.
Yeah, all these Sam Barlow games are like that. I thought this game was cool. I don't know if I'll ever play it again or but here's my thing, all right? It's I want to watch the clips, but playing the game, I just kind of sped through trying to collect them. But the shit happens. As you can see, you can rewind and fast forward and stuff. Or you can select a picture and find another clip that has that same kind of picture in it. So for instance, you select an actor, it'll go to another scene with that actor, right? You select an apple, it'll go to another scene with an apple. And so I got caught up in that. But then when this other stuff goes down, no spoilers, it just kind of is happening. So I'm running with it and collecting more scenes. And before I knew it, the game ended. And I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I mean, I understand what happened through the clips that I was able to collect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not like I sat down and watched the scenes. I started to, but then I got to a point where I'm just well, now I'm just watching shit. I could just watch Gundam. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just sort of my problem with this game. Is just that. But it is intriguing. It's great. It's very creative. It's a great game to put on your top 3. Yeah. I totally get
it. And I think if you there's certain things that if you do the rewind feature, the scene like completely changes, and there will be new actors in there even, and like there's this whole kind of underplot that goes on with that. And if you
don't
take
spoil
the
it.
time to, I won't. But if you take the time to watch all of it, it's you'll.
Did you watch every clip? Let me ask you that question.
Definitely not. I watched every clip that had that underlying thing that I'm not going to spoil, and I watched a lot of them, certainly. And then I did the thing where I favorited them and like kind of went back into certain things. But by the end of it, at least Aishu and I had a lot to talk about. And then on the internet, I had some conversations with other internet friends about just like what we thought happened, and it was just a good like water cooler game to be like, what the fuck did you think that meant? Like kind of the way that like the end of Inside felt like, something like that. So
right. So I feel like maybe it would have been more fun if Joy played it with me, but I put that game on and she just was like, nah, fuck this, and went to sleep.
Yeah, I feel you.
And she just wasn't feeling it. And so then I'm left to my own devices, and I'm like, well, I mean, here's this redhead chick doing stuff. Cool.
Her name's Menal Gage, by the way.
Great performance. You know what I mean? And I like how it was pulled off. I don't know. Just didn't really click with me. Like Telling Lies, I got sucked into that game. I got fucking sucked into that game. I watched every clip. A really good one. I watched every clip. I got fucking sucked into it, and this game didn't give me the same juju. You know what I'm saying? So,
heck yeah.
That's
my number 3. Moving on.
I don't know what my number 3 is. I'll put Vampire Survivors on my number 3, even though it was my number 2 in my brain. What's so great about Vampire Survivors, you ask? Well, it's its simplicity. Okay, all right. You look at the game and you go, "Well, that game looks like shit." You know what I'm saying? And I would say to you, sir, you're drunk. Please do not shout in traffic that loud, okay? That's what I would say to you. And then I would say, but have you played it? That's really the main thing I would say. Anyone who looks at this game and goes, oh, well, what is this? Looks like it was made on the fucking Super Nintendo. Well, have you played it? And once you pick it up and play it, you'll understand. And that's what I tell everyone. Now, what makes this game beautiful is all you do is move around. And the fact that the game is just that good, if the only control is to just move the stick, I don't know. Like, I can't equate it to anything else than like it's like an arcade game, but in the best possible way. Not to mention, it only cost me like $3. Now it's on mobile, which is cool. You can experience it there. It's a lot harder. I wouldn't I would say pick it up and play it. It's still fun on mobile, but like don't judge it until you actually play it on either console. It's on Game Pass, of course. Or if you play it on Steam, pick it up for $3 or $5. It's worth now. But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. There's something about it. Like I love bullet hell games. I always have. Like I played a lot of bullet hell games in my time. And when I read about the creator of the game saying like, I love bullet hell games and I'm trying to make something that's sort of a spiritual successor to those, it really clicked for me. It made a lot of sense because half of the game is just dodging stupid like bats or whatever, like just trying to touch you and do damage to you. But it's just, I don't know. It's just great game design. It's like we were watching, what's that show called? Mythic Quest. We're watching the newest season of that, and like they really kind of summed it up in that show really well. Where like Poppy, the main female like programmer chick, who at that stage of the show, not really gonna spoil anything, but like she's making a brand new game, and it's her masterpiece, and so she gives it to people to test, and then later on when she talks to them, they're like, yeah, it's perfect, like everything about it, you know what I mean? It looks great, it plays great, blah blah. And she's like, well, you don't sound psyched about it. What's wrong with it? And they're like, it's just not fun, And that's big. That's the thing with video games right now. Like, I know we're kind of getting to that like level of video games being like more of an art form, and The Last of Us, it's like we all need to cry and feel emotions, and it's like a movie, this and that. But we can't get lost in the fact that like a video game should just be fun. And Vampire Survivors is like the embodiment of that, almost like flipping the current trend of like the AAA massive thing that we're dealing with 24/7 nowadays, and just putting it right on his head and going like, hey, what if you just move around and you get upgrades? And then that's the restricted game design that the whole game is based around, and like all the creative ways they utilize that restriction is what makes it, I think, in the game of the year category or conversation. So Vampire Survivors.
Love it. Hell yeah. Yeah, I need to play some more of this. I barely scratched the surface. I booted up like twice. But yeah, man, fun games. There should be just fun, like pure gameplay oriented games, and it's one of the reasons why so many of the SNES classics hold up, right? Is because they were so based on fundamentally like gameplay that you want to play over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of seems like that design philosophy, right?
It was just a game at that point. There was not necessarily a story, and if there was a story, it was very, open-ended. Boost.
Set dressing, yeah.
Didn't really matter. But at the same time, I do like stories. I do like narrative. I mean,
of course.
So,
and there's room for both. There's totally room for both.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My argument is just like, let's not forget the simple video game as well. Sometimes, like sometimes you play that and you're like, yeah, this is sick. Like Ninja Turtles, that game is really good, and it's like it's a beat 'em up. Like, why are these beat 'em ups hitting so hard right now? It's because like we don't really have arcades anymore. You know what I mean? Like, not like when we were kids. Like, we sort of do, right? We went to one on my birthday, but it's not like how it was before.
Same.
Not even close.
Totally.
Yeah.
Not close.
So like getting an arcade style experience in your hands like that is just so refreshing to kind of be like, yeah, this is nice. I'm glad the kids have something new to play that's an arcade experience,
I also think like
they'll never understand.
True. Do they ever understand?
They didn't live my life. They don't know.
They don't know about no quarters.
They don't know exactly. Or being left at the arcade while your parent goes to gamble. They don't know about that life.
Oh, dude, I know all about that shit, dude. It's such a Vegas thing.
That sounds like a Vegas-centric thing. Yeah, I didn't have that exactly, but
It's so true, though.
Or you go to the casino and you're like, yeah, I'm going to the arcade. It's going to be awesome.
Dude, the Treasure Island Casino was always cool. My mom worked there. They had, what's that game? Die Hard. You ever played Die Hard, the arcade game?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Good shit.
Hell yeah.
What's your number 3, if you could pick one, Miguel?
I'm thinking Scorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go.
I don't know, something about it. I enjoyed it. I thought overall, like aesthetically, obviously, you're walking into H.R. Geiger world.
Mm-hmm.
With all the sexual references and all, and the phallic symbols, and and as far as gameplay, it was interesting. I don't know if did you beat it, Gage?
I really want to beat it. I'm like right at the end because as of what you told me, I think I must have like 10 to 40 minutes left, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I won't spoil anything, but I went online to figure out what the hell happened.
Yeah, sure.
And then it made more sense, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I won't say anything until you actually finish it, but overall, I mean, it was a great, weird, creepy game that was just kind of gross, and it was like overall just fun, in my opinion. Exploring this weird, fucked up place, and I kind of wish I had more backstory for the weird, fucked up place, but at the same time, I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It kind of set out to do exactly what it was trying to do, right? It was just kind of like a weird surrealist painting that you just exist in for a while. Like, yeah, I would have liked a little. Or I haven't seen the full resolution of the game, but I can already tell. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if maybe there was a little bit more to it. But I still think like the time in that atmosphere is really just cool. It's just cool,
100%. Overall, I don't regret playing it at all. I obviously because I finished it, but it is what it is. You just need to play it to understand. You need to experience it.
I gotta
and
finish
then you
it.
can tell me what you think of the ending, because I was like, what the fuck just happened through the internet?
Yep.
Because I don't understand. Then it made sense, and I was like, oh, okay.
There you go.
I'll finish it. It's still sitting on my dashboard. Like it'll. I think I'm really close. So
You're from what you told me, you're at the very end of the game. So
yeah, I know.
I'm close.
So highly recommended. It's just it was weird and fucked up and fun and interesting.
Very cool.
Cool. Fuck yeah.
That would be number 3 for me of the games I played this year.
I like your style, man.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to
Good
choose.
shout. All right.
It's
Number
hard to choose
2
video
for me is Ollie Ollie World. Dun,
Nice.
dun, dun. Ollie Ollie World, for those who don't know, is a like 2D side scroller, charming indie skateboarding game. It takes place in Nirvana, and it
Shredding
is
the
like
Nar?
yeah, shredding all the
Shredding
sicky
the
nar. The characters are all really charming, and there is a bit of a story overlaid to the whole thing. Essentially, you're kind of going around and like skating with these like 6 or 7 different like gate gods type of thing, and each area is like kind of like tutorializes some new element of your skateboarding. So like you learn new moves or different like things you can do, wall rides, grinds, grabs, spins, things like that, and each like section kind of highlights a new gameplay mechanic. And yeah, you get to customize your character really well, and there's some scoring on the screen if you want to
I
look.
was like, this isn't Ollie Ollie World.
Yeah, cute Narmana, shred the Narnar. Nope.
I was like, ooh, I realized I didn't do it. So let me do this first just a sec and see until they notice.
It's okay. It's a slight delayed reaction, sans caffeine,
Mhm.
Our magical producer over there
Yeah.
doing his best work.
I guess I got magic.
No, so
over
yeah,
here
it's
or
just
something.
a really charming game. It's like the gameplay, you get into this kind of flow state. I love like flow state games.
Mhm.
And it does a really good job of onboarding you like slowly but surely. So at first you're like, how am I going to do all these things? But like by the end of the game, you're just like a champion. And yeah, I don't know. I think like when I think about the way that like all the games I played this year, I think like a lot of other experiences had 1 or 2 things that just didn't kind of land, or like I wished it had a slightly better story or wasn't as buggy, or maybe this, I don't know, like there's a couple different things, right? This like as a package I think is like arguably a 10 out of 10 video game. Like whether it vibes with you on a 10 out of 10 level where you're like, I absolutely love this game or not, like maybe it's not going to hit for everyone, but I think like it ran amazingly. The music was awesome. The character customization was really good. The story was cute and quaint and totally serviceable. The worlds were beautiful. The gameplay overall was just like phenomenal. So it's like, I just think it was a really good game and deserves a good shout. And I think it got overshadowed because it was a really good year for indies overall. So yeah,
Yeah.
Ollie Ollie World.
Nice. Yeah, this game looks like so much fun. It for sure I do want to play it one day. Put it on
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Put it on
Yeah,
game.
this is
Put it on.
this is
Game
one of the
Pass.
only
I'll play
this is
it.
one of the only games I bought with my own money this year.
Nice. Man, I got.
Technically, obviously, whatever, Game Pass, but
Yeah, I recently just got Legend of Mana on Steam and Cult of the Lamb, so I got to play those.
heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, Ollie Ollie World, great. Everyone seems to love it that has played it. So I would say play it if you can. I'll get it one day on sale or something. Is it on Epic?
I believe it is,
It's
and
on Steam.
it's not that expensive. Like keep an eye out for a sale or something, because I think
$30
it's only a $20 game
Yeah,
at
23.
full price.
Oh, dude, right now it's $15 on Steam for
There you
this
go.
the winter sale. You put this shit on my wish list.
Wish list that shit, man.
Yeah, man. Oh,
I
can
got
do
it on
later.
sale on Xbox also. It was like $17 or something.
Oh, so you have it on Xbox, not on the Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I have just been less and less drawn to my Switch, man. That's all I gotta say. Anyways.
Same here. Sorry, Nintendo. Try harder, bro.
Are you though? Are you sorry?
No. I'm sorry that Nintendo is like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone.
I almost feel like they always will be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're a toy company.
They're just in a toy company. That's the problem. Why
Nintendo? What's yours? Your number 2.
Was it me or Miguel?
You can go.
Want me to go?
It's you. Who does number 2 work for?
I'm trying to remember the other line. I can't. I need to watch that one again. So it's really hard for me to do this stuff. Like, full disclosure, I'm not a type to be like, here's my top 3, like, of anything. Like, it's so hard to say definitively what my favorite of anything is. You know, I'm the worst. Sure. So, you know, I'm just kind of working around in my head. Vampire Survivors maybe should be number 2. You know what I mean? But it's
2 and 3 if you want.
No. We need to put another game out there.
There's no rules.
We need a game.
You can do whatever you want, Jacob.
No, we need some sort of game. So no, I was like, it's look, you all know what number 1 is, but number 2, it could be one of 2 games, I guess, that I think of. I mean, I really liked Lego Star Wars. That was a lot of fun. I can't lie, like, playing through that was a blast, and like, it's such a comfort food type of game where, like, anytime I can just go back to it and just start playing, like, you know, just collecting shit. And just collecting shit and going through levels for fun is great. Like, so I rushed through the game to get through the actual, like, you know, episodes of Star Wars. Just so I can get to the last part, which is just, like, you can pick whatever team you want and just, like, slowly build, like, every Star Wars character ever and get every single ship you could think of over the course of the game. So I really enjoyed that one. But I don't know, man. I mean, I played a lot of Gundam Evolution. That game is cool. It's just kind of hard to pick, like, what did I do a lot this year? Multiplayer games. But what game do I keep coming back to? What game was I just playing the other night? That I realize is probably a lot longer than I think. And it feeds right into my current obsession. I think my number 2 should really be SD Gundam Battle Alliance.
Wow, let's go.
Such a fucking good game that no one seems to care about. But I don't know, I just have fun grinding in that game. Like, any game where I can enjoy the grind, that's big. I don't like grinding.
That is big.
I don't like grinding at all. I fucking hate grinding, actually.
I think anyone likes to grind, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I find myself replaying levels just to get, like, credits so I can level up other mobile suits so then I could take them into future missions. I'm like, man, I think I want to level up every fucking mobile suit. So, yeah, no, I could see myself playing that game a lot more. Did I beat it? No, but have I put a bunch of hours into it? Kind of, yeah. So I think it deserves to hit my number 2. Because, I mean, look, I'm searching through, like, best games of the year. I mean, what? You got Pentiment, good game, but a lot of scribble sounds, you know, kind of, I don't know.
Be honest,
sort of
I was hoping that game was going to be better than it was. It's a little boring.
Yeah.
And you really have to, and maybe it's just me, but I didn't feel like it engaged me right away.
Right.
So, I'm not one of those type to, it gets good at, hour 6. I'm not gonna play it for 6 hours.
Right. I mean, I like what Pendaman is doing. It just doesn't click. You know what I mean? As much. So who knows? I'll probably go back and play it. But then there's games like Rogue Legacy 2, which was a lot of fun. I played some of Deathloop this year. It was new to me on Game Pass. I played Immortality, which is good. Ninja Turtles, which is good. Like, there's just so many good games this year. But like, I'm just thinking, like, what did you do a lot of this year? You know? And I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I don't know. I mean, what game have I been playing? Like, Fall Guys? I'm never going to put Fall Guys on my top game of the year list. It's not going to happen.
Why not?
You know? Because, I mean, the game's fun, but it's not like I'm choosing to play Fall Guys. It's like everybody else is choosing to play Fall Guys, and I'm like, yeah, that's all right. And I try to get everybody to play fucking Gundam Evolution with me, and that game's fun and all. It's just that, like, it also pisses me off. So I can't sit here and say, oh, that's my favorite game of the year, when I'm like, half the time I'm like mad. You know what I mean? Like, is that the best game? I don't know.
No, I will bring that game up later, but that's good. And Fall Guys is my number 11 of the year. Just letting you know.
And Fall Guys is still a good game. I'm just saying, like in general, I'm like I don't know. So yeah, I just feel like SD Gundam Battle Alliance has got to hit my number 2. What can I say?
Speak with your heart. Let your heart sing, man. I'm all for it.
I'm having a good time leveling up my Gundams. Just saying.
This
Miguel,
is
what's your number 2?
This is a Gundam year for you, man. I support it.
It is, yeah, for sure. I'm diving head first, because I always liked Gundam. It's just that I couldn't, I was like, it's cool, and that's it. It's like, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know
Surface
the characters.
Level.
You see the cool robots, but you don't know what they are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
You're like, I don't know. I know what a GM is. Now I could tell you all sorts of shit. You know about a ball, but you don't even know about a ball, dude.
I don't know shit about a ball.
I was gonna say, I really
anything
don't care
about a ball.
I don't care about Gundam.
You don't care about Gundam? All of a sudden, you don't care about Gundam.
I never did.
You don't want to get in a big robot and fly around? Come on.
Only if I'm 15 and whiny about it, sure.
Yeah, that's
Only
Gundam.
I don't really like mech anime.
It's Gundam for you. What's your number 2, Miguel?
I love that mech, but you're the only one that can do it.
It's true, because they're new types, okay?
Gotta be a new type.
Evolution. Human evolution, dude.
Okay. Sure.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
We need to live in space so we're not weighed down by gravity, and then we can evolve.
Yep.
That's what Gundam's really about.
Hell yeah.
SpaceX.
I like it. I like it, dude.
You gotta watch it. Yeah, there's a lot of politics involved. That's true. And making fun of old people, politicians.
Well,
they
at
do
least
that a
it's
lot.
not like Macross. That's, my God, that show was boring.
The combat was cool.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, I don't even remember what happens in Macross. Miguel, do you have a number 2 for us?
I'll say Sable.
Okay.
Only
cool.
I really did enjoy that game.
Nice.
Obviously, there's no real action in it or anything. It's a game about exploration. Being a teenage girl coming to it's like a coming of age story type thing.
Oh,
I thought was fun. But I mean, it's not really super in depth or anything as far as the story goes. But it's a fun game. I thought it was very, very pretty.
It's so pretty.
I enjoyed the music.
Japanese Breakfast did the music, and she's great. I have a crush on her.
Oh, I love Japanese Breakfast.
And she, so I have a feeling a lot of people probably didn't play this game, but that's okay. I don't care. I enjoyed it.
Hell yeah.
Kind of a lot of people did play it. Just not not the gamers, you know what I mean? Not like they're they're playing Modern Warfare or some shit. Warzone.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Not the gamers.
Real gamers?
Not the Doritos motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Not
the jocks.
Yeah, the gamer jocks.
I really hate that.
The gamer jocks.
That there are gamer jocks. I really do hate that.
It's kind of a good way to put it.
They are at the end of the day.
Well, it's because all they play is FIFA.
Out on the Mount Dew eating the Doritos.
Yeah, and playing FIFA.
Totally.
Anything esports, in my opinion, those are the gamer jocks. I hate to say it.
So you're trying to say that League of Legends player is a jock
it's
now?
The same shit.
Well,
they just look different.
Riot feels a little jockey for me, for sure.
True. I will say that the fighting game community is still pretty small though. So I wouldn't.
And that's a little different. That's like people who are maybe like boxers or something like that.
Really
No. Oh yeah, correct. Yes.
Player.
Yeah.
Martial arts enthusiasts or something like that. Yeah, something different.
Daniel song.
But no, I highly recommend it. The music's great.
Cool.
The overall gameplay I thought was really fun, and it's just a really pretty game to play.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they just added a fishing add-on.
Oh.
So they added fishing to the game. It's not on Game Pass anymore, so I haven't played that, so I can't talk about that. But that's all part of the game now that you can download it and play.
Nice.
So
cool.
Overall, great game, I thought, and definitely something I really enjoyed.
I like it.
And well, I'm gonna assume both Jacob and I's game of the year.
So we can just combine those.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotta be From Software's magnum opus of Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
exactly.
Oh, that's an overlay. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, what's left to be said about this game? It's just it got me it got me past my barrier of Soulsborne games, and just totally like showed me what they can be, both from a gameplay standpoint and getting through the challenge, but then also just like discovering this world and having every like thing that you discover along the way like fill in the kind of puzzle that is like the story and the characterization of everything. And like I'd say just from moment to moment gameplay of this whole thing, like you just constantly fascinated with what you're finding and what you're exploring and what you're seeing, and the character builds and like just the endlessness of this game in a lot of ways is just it's baffling. It's truly baffling.
The endlessness of this game is endless.
Totally. There's no end to it. It's so endless. This endless game.
Tarnished, endless.
I still have yet to play this. I know
you played it.
Had a huge boner for it.
You have played it.
I think you played it drunk and don't remember.
Have played it.
You have played it one time.
Yes.
For
but I mean,
an hour.
I don't feel like it counts, Jacob.
Yeah, because you weren't like sitting down and playing it.
Playing it, exactly. But I definitely would like to play it at some point.
All right.
I want to see what it's all about.
It's great.
Miguel, like
all hard-ons are about.
It
gave me the same feeling that Skyrim gave me when I first played Skyrim in a lot of ways, where it's like, it's different for sure. It's different mechanically and stuff like that. But like where you just like you set off to do one thing, and along the way, like 6 other interesting things happen, and all of a sudden, like you find yourself just in a completely different part of the world on some new quest, like finding some new items that like maybe change your gameplay style, or just like it kind of just drip feeds all of that really cool explorative stuff. And then just like with Bethesda games, like the story is a little bit obtuse. Like maybe the mainline path story isn't as obtuse, but like all the stuff that you find on the side is like all the stuff about the 9 divines and everything in Skyrim and stuff. It's similar to the way that like all the, I don't know. It's just the way it kind of unravels itself is what's so exciting about it to me.
I do appreciate you mentioning Skyrim, which is of course my game of the year.
There you go.
But we can get into that later.
Such a great game. Yeah, I mean it's it's really just expanding that From Software game design into an open world. Just giving them so much room to play around. Regarding the story, I'm still learning shit about the story.
Yep.
Like to this day, like I'll just randomly see a Reddit post where someone's like, "Hey, did you know this?" And then you read people's comments and you're like, "Oh shit, that's crazy. I didn't really think about it like that." You know? Or I just didn't even know. Like I have no fucking idea. You know, if you just play the game, you don't read any of the items you pick up. You know, you may miss most of it. You know that you got to do something. You got to become a lord. You got to do a bunch of shit to become a lord. You know, you need like parts of the Elden Ring, which you collect from the bosses to beat the end boss. You know what I mean? You know, like those things are so obvious. Like that's in every fucking one of these games. You know, like kill the 4 elementals, or you know, like Zelda. You know, like I mean, it's all the same type of shit in that regard. If you want to look at it at like a base level, right? But like really getting into the nitty gritty about the story is like what's crazy. You know,
it's I mean, it's a game that's like it's ultimately about like. It's a very like Nietzschean, like it's all about struggle and like a kind of endless cycle, like being broken by independence and deciding to choose to do something different, even though it's like maybe might doom the entire world or doom yourself, or like embracing cold science over like religious faith and things like that. There's all these undertones that happen depending on what, like the way you go through the game that you would totally never even occur if you didn't like dig deeper. But I kind of like that about it.
Dude, there's entire set like massive maps of the game you could easily miss completely. You know, you can miss like full on weapons that you can't find anywhere else, or like spells. You know, if you're not searching every nook and cranny of the game, but like you want to. You know what I mean? You're driven to do that because it's awesome. Because you don't know what the next reward's gonna be, or you just want to like conquer shit and level up. You know what I mean? That alone is fun. Like you're talking about flow state. That's a flow state thing. Just like searching around, just in every little spot. Dude, when you just like happen to walk into an area and you see a bunch of messages on the floor. And they're like, dude, there's a place right here. And you walk in there and you go, oh, man, that's crazy. This is like a cave. I could have easily missed this cave. You know, like that feeling's really nice because, you know, like a hunter in Bloodborne, a tarnished is never alone. If you're playing online, you should be playing online. But damn, what a great game.
And it just taught me a whole language, right? Like to use the cheeses that are available if you need them. And like, but also to like, you know, just like if something's something I think that separates this from other FromSoft games is like, you know, if you're just beating your head against the wall and nothing's changing, like just go the other direction, and I guarantee you'll chip away at like these other bosses or these other areas, and you'll come back and you'll both be better as an actual player, like your ability to dodge better or like anticipate timing and stuff, and then also you'll level up your weapons and your character and everything in a way where you're like, okay, I can fuck this guy up now. It's awesome. And you know, I just like that element of it a lot. You
might actually find a new weapon on that journey that will like be the thing that you actually needed to find to make that experience easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what makes that game great, because there's a small element of that, you could say, in other From Software games where like you go straight to the boss or explore the whole area, you know, or like kill a few enemies. But like in this game, I don't think that, like, people talk about grinding. Like, you don't need to grind in Elden Ring. There's so much shit to do. If you need to level up, just explore. You know, like, you don't need to kill the same enemies in like an area and keep reloading it. Like, just go explore. You just find a new cave. You know, before you know it, you'll level up a little more, come back to that same boss, and just fuck shit up. And then, not to mention, like, with every From Software game, you could just pull up a guide. You know what I mean? That's no big deal. The games are so hard and obtuse. Like, you might just want to know, like, hey, what's this fool weak to? You know? Oh, he's got like really low fire resistance. Maybe I should build like a fire weapon for this fight, you know? And so it's just that like collaborative way of playing From Software games that like make them kind of stand apart in their own way as well.
Some people could look at that as like a detriment, like the fact that you need to use the community in some certain circumstances to either figure out story-wise what's happening, or you know, lore stuff, or like actual like meta things for beating bosses or things like that. Like, but like I think that's actually kind of cool because it makes you engage with other people who are playing, and like, I don't know, that's why people spend like their are employed to write guides and stuff. Like it's you know, I used to, like, the way I kind of would play it is I'd go through like the entirety of a section of an area as much as I could explore it just by myself. And then I would go back through and be like, all right, did I miss anything? I'd look online, like, you know, is there any secret spots that I really never found here? And then I'd go, you know, experience those, you know? So,
yeah, it's totally the way to do it, man.
Hell yeah.
Totally the way to do it. Also, the spells are really cool. Don't forget, you can be like a magician, or like you could, there's so many fucking miracles or whatever they're called in this game, prayers or whatever.
Incantations.
Thank you, sir. Like, if you don't go like the mage route, you can totally go that route. And like, there's a lot of different routes just for incantations in general. And they kind of all play against like certain like stats to upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to be like a dragon cat like incantation person? Do you want to be straight up like, you know, fire? Do you want to like do weird madness stuff? Yeah, like be like a straight up like paladin type of holy character. Like there's even a like, there's spells that you need faith to cast. You know what I mean? Intelligence and faith. There's just so, like, the builds themselves are like really awesome too. And like, yeah, a lot of the stuff is in the other games. You know what I mean? But like Elden Ring does it different. Just a whole other game.
One of the
what a great game.
first games in a long while where I literally my first playthrough was like 163 hours, and I almost immediately, I did immediately go and start a new character right afterwards, just because I was like, all right, let's try something different and see how it goes.
Fuck yeah.
And then you and I've been playing co-op, which is also like this whole additional thing,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I haven't even scratched the surface of. I haven't done any of the PvP stuff yet, and
Yeah, they just added
I don't
that.
know.
They added like
Yeah.
a PvP arenas throughout the game now, so you can jump in there. And apparently, it's totally crazy because everyone just launching like all sorts of spells. The weapons themselves have like spells on them too. Some of them, you know what I
Yep.
mean, like special abilities. So people roll in there with like a collection of weapons and spells, and they're just like dumping like crazy attacks everywhere. It's like fucking insane from what I've seen.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, great game. Play it if you haven't. If you don't have it because you can't play it, as soon as you can, get it. Like,
There you
it's
go.
just such a good game. And if you're asking yourself, Jacob, what if I don't want to play that game? But is there another From Software game that's like kind of like that, but not as intense? With the role playing stuff, I would say yes. Play Sekiro. It's another very
Nice.
great From Software game. If you've never played Sekiro, get on that sooner. Because it might be on sale or something. I don't know.
And if you really want to play an amazing role-playing game, but maybe it's something a little bit more, a little less punishing, then you might want to play the game that Miguel's about to talk about.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Skyrim.
You know, how long ago? 10 years after the fact that it came out, but still very good.
Believe it or not.
Is this the first
Amazing.
Is this the first year you've actually played the game at all?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I never played it before.
Hell yeah.
I told you when Skyrim came out, I'd played Oblivion.
Oh, right.
And my issue with Oblivion was I got so sidetracked with, well, let's be honest, lockpicking. I just lockpicked the entire time for like 75 hours. I leveled my lockpicking up to like, yeah.
That's
and
fucking
you remember
awesome.
how that was on that game. So
Yeah.
I
it
do.
was
I do
different.
remember it well.
So I would just like go into homes and like pick locks, and I was at some point I hit 75 hours, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Picking locks,
I
dog.
kind of like had lost interest but then that's kind of when because I'd also tried playing what was it, Fallout 3 before that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that was a game where I got sidetracked and I never beat it. So the first Bethesda game that I actually did beat was Fallout 4.
Oh,
And I played the whole thing all the way through, and I really enjoyed it. And then I decided to go back to Skyrim because I had bought Skyrim for like $15, Game of the Year edition,
mm-hmm.
like months before or whatever, and it just sat there. I hadn't played it, but I really, really did enjoy Skyrim. It was freaking awesome.
Classic.
I still kind of like the Fallout world a little more, but only because that's just kind of my speed as far as style goes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I prefer more sci-fi type stuff, but Skyrim itself is great. Hearing a guy tell me that he used to be a warrior until he got shot in the knee with an arrow.
That's iconic. That
Fucking
guy's
classic.
iconic.
Super
Killing
iconic.
dragons and shit. Oh, it's great. The whole game's fucking just the whole thing. And I haven't even finished it technically because I still haven't finished the
The main story.
Yep.
So I should probably go back and do that at some point. I've just been lazy.
The Dragonborn one is really cool because it takes you back to Solstium, which is like that island that's actually in one of the Morrowind expansions, and that's cool because you
Oh.
can get all the cool chitin bone armor and shit, which I really like. And yeah.
Yeah, I started that one. I actually went to the island and stuff, and I was like, no, let me finish the main game. Then I just never went back to it.
Yep.
And then I started a little bit of the vampire DLC as well.
Like that DLC.
Totally really cool. The whole game, if you've never played it, I highly recommend it. If you want to kill trolls and what were those fucking guys?
Draugr.
Yeah, the
Draugr,
Draugrs
yeah.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's great. So good.
Yep.
And the fact that it took me so long to play it is insane. But I appreciate it. Like I had a drive to play it. Like I wanted to play it, as opposed to like feeling like I had to. And sometimes I feel like I have to play certain games. You okay with that?
No. All right over there.
I told you guys I'm all messed up.
Yep.
But yeah,
nice.
And I'm sure you guys have always. I mean, you guys have already played it, obviously. But
Yeah,
I think I have. Go for it.
I got the Switch version.
have you beaten Skyrim at all?
I never beat the main story, but I played like 1 million hours of it.
Yep.
Cause that's just how I play Bethesda games. I just play side quests, and then I just don't ever get back to the main story because I'm like, I need to beat these side quests first, and they just never stop popping up.
They do eventually.
Yeah, no, I don't get to that point. I get to the point where I just stop playing.
I mean, I think the thing about the Bethesda games is like it is a lot more about the stories that you yourself make, and that sounds super cheesy, but like just the weird little encounters and experiences that you do, I think are the more entertaining parts than even the main narratives.
Yeah.
%. I think the main narrative is just kind of there. The bulk of the game is always the side stuff.
Totally.
So it's just walking around the world and just exploring and going, what's in this game? Let me go fuck it up, or at least try to.
And I always do actual like role playing in my head in those games. I know it's kind of cheesy and childish, but it's fun to like just actually imagine where your character came from and how they would, which quest lines they would do and what parts of the world they would explore. Like I love all of it.
Role playing is not childish, sir.
It's fun. It's a good time.
I mean, I did it when I played. There was a cannibal quest. I didn't complete it because I ended up killing the cannibal.
There you go.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck you.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
You're crazy.
Yeah. It's just like what you do in those games. Really kind of.
And then I found out there was a ring that you could get that gave you a certain ability, I believe, if you wanted to do the werewolf build.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh okay, well I fucked that up. Can't be a werewolf now.
Yeah, because it lets you shift it at will, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being a vampire is really fun.
It is, especially once you can be like vampire. Being a vampire in Oblivion sucks because you just slowly but surely can't go outside during the day anymore, and you just like die. And you just die eventually. Where like literally you get any sunlight and you just immediately die. So,
yeah, they tamed that down a little, but you do have like a permanent like double damage from fire, which makes dragons a bitch, and they're.
I would imagine it would.
Yeah, so that's sort of like my problem, and also my build is really weird on that. This is my Switch version, where I was like, well, it's all about sneaking, but also casting magic, specifically conjuration.
Oh, cool.
You're a sneak mage, conjuring shit.
Yeah, because I had points in illusion, so where my casting made no sound, but I also could turn invisible, and so I would go invisible and just start summoning shit in like a layer, and no one would know where it's coming from. So
I love
just summon a whole bunch of monsters and just hide. But then when you get like attacked by a big ass dragon by the end game, somewhere in the field, I'm like, well, I don't really have a way to battle this fucker. He's flying around. I don't really have spells. I don't have ranged attacks. You know what I mean? And so like that's sort of where I left off in that game. But I was also doing like the Vampire Lord stuff a lot too, in general. And that's fun to role play. Because I'm like,
it is.
Ooh, I'm hungry. It's night. I'll go into a guard's barracks and like try to suck one of them that's sleeping. Just suck them.
Yep. Just suck them away.
Suck them. Skyrim's such a good game. Such a good game. Any highlight quests you got there, Miguel? That you can remember off the top of your head?
It's been a while, dude. I don't remember. There was a few that were really good. Fuck.
For me, I really like the Dark Brotherhood stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just think they're fun reasons to like go assassinate people. I mean, spoilers for Skyrim, I guess, but you get to the point where you kill the Emperor in that game, which is pretty epic.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that shit.
That was a good one.
It's an old game.
I can't remember right now, Jacob. To be 100% honest with you.
I always like the Daedric quests, where like evil gods like fucking with you. Like the one with
I did like that one where you had to bring the follower with you.
Yeah.
And you had to sacrifice him.
Right. I do remember that one. The one.
Yeah,
where
I think that's Medea. That's Medea, maybe Medea's beacon, something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna choose you because I never use you. Come on, buddy.
There's also that.
Awesome.
There's the one, their Daedric quest where like it's like the Daedric god of like poison and rot or something, and you talk to some like gross dude, and he's like, "Oh, you need to bring me a bunch of gross ingredients for this like cauldron," and then you drink it and get poisoned like in a weird way, and it gives you like some kind of bonus, and it's just like really cool quests, dude. That's why I'm like really excited for Starfield, man. That's gonna be such a big game for me.
There's a quest where you pretty much do the Hangover movies, but in that game where you get drunk with some guy and then I guess you end up like stealing a goat and fucking up some whole temple and stuff. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
And that's the one where you end up getting the weapon on that was the rose staff.
Yeah, the
Sanguine Rose.
The Daedric Lord.
Yeah, which I could just summon those guys, just wall them invisible in a cave, completely undetected. It's pretty funny.
Hell yeah.
Well,
that's amazing. Skyrim rules.
Yeah, Skyrim does rule. What was your build, if I may ask?
I was a spell sword.
Cool.
Nice. That's kind of a good way to just like start your first playthrough off and just be like, I want to experience spells, but then kill the fuck out of things too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my first.
I'd say it's a pretty generic build and probably pretty easy to play. It's not.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
And the other thing, the other build I was looking at though was the range build with the stealth.
Yeah.
But range gets kind of boring because you're so far away.
Right.
At least for me.
That's how I play Fallout games. I just sneak around and snipe people with the big ass sniper rifle.
I want to be right up in that shit when I play.
Same thing in Cyberpunk. I was all like hacking, so just far away, just launching viruses at people, mind viruses. I just like doing that shit in games like that.
I sometimes didn't even have to go into the buildings in Skyrim. I would just stand outside and just wreck all their security and then fry all their brains and then like malfunction a bunch of their guns and then walk in and just kill like 3 people, and that was that.
I think you meant Cyberpunk.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
But yeah, that game was fun too. Was that this year? That was last year.
Last year.
All right.
A year before even.
All right, guys. So that's our top 3 right there between the 3 of us. Neon White, I probably should have said that, but I didn't beat it, So right now we're just gonna throw out some honorable mentions, like other fun awards that we want to give out. I'll let Gage take over.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a couple of these are just weird and wacky awards. They can kind of describe whatever different games you'd want to highlight, but I've done them in kind of an interesting way. Let's see. This is one for just for you, Jacob. This is the best team/hero shooter that I wouldn't have played without a friend forcing me to, but then had a good time anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm the runner-up is Overwatch 2.
Oh.
Played some Overwatch 2 the other night with some buddies, and I suck at Overwatch, like majorly suck at Overwatch. But by the end of the night, I was actually doing pretty good. I was playing support, and I was feeling pretty good about it, and I had fun. But the winner is Gundam Evolution. Woo!
Good game.
We played this game on a stream, and I had some fun, and I even played it afterwards by myself a few times, and it's a good game. What can I say? I like it.
It's probably the multiplayer game I played the most this year. I feel like, I don't know, Halo played a lot of that too, though.
Yep.
Actually, I'll say the Battle Royale that I was forced to play a lot of and got the most W's. Realm Royale gets that award for me.
Nice.
Pandafin, that guy. He always wants to play Realm Royale, and for some reason we always win. So maybe consider playing that game if you want to win at something, especially with friends. Gundam Evolution is the best robot-based arena shooter award.
I'll get behind you. I'll get behind you on that.
You got any side awards there, Miguel?
I'd say the oddest game I've played. Oddest game of the year was Piku Niku.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, that game is fucking odd. You're totally right.
It's fucking weird, man.
What? All right,
Good
next.
time though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, dude, I played like maybe an hour and a half of that, and I was like, this is a game for a child, but it's fun. I think
It definitely is kind of for a child, but
it feels like an
I
easy
say,
achievement hunting type of game, you know, easy platinum.
yeah, and just weird, just very very strange,
Very strange. Yeah.
but highly fun. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
My game of the year based solely on soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
The runner-up is Elden Ring. Just when you first boot up that title screen, you're like, well, that was already amazing. Before you even start the game, you're like, all right, that song just fucking rips.
Oh yeah.
But that's my runner-up. My winner is Neon White, which I have not played. But I listened to the soundtrack. It was on my Spotify Wrapped as like one of the top albums I listened to this whole year.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's by a band called Machine Girl,
Mm-hmm.
or probably just a producer called Machine Girl, and
Yeah.
that shit slaps. And I have listened to it on repeat for so long now.
Yeah, it's great. Drum and bass and stuff and breaks.
Yep, exactly.
Definitely check it out.
And
if you haven't.
yeah, I literally have not played 1 second of that game, but I've listened to the soundtrack enough where I'm like, yep, that was an awesome game.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
also a great game. I'll say best use of cards this year game goes to Neon White for me.
Shout out to Marvel Snap though in that region.
Yeah,
as well.
Marvel Snap is cool and all. It's a great game. You know what I mean? But I'm never really compelled to play it because I feel like it's too much pressure. I'm afraid I haven't lost yet. I've won like only 6 or 7, and that's as many games as I played. And so I'm like, one day I'll pick it back up.
You're like,
I don't want to ever
I'm
lose.
losing this streak, so I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead.
Yeah,
Quit while you're ahead.
exactly right.
I hate to say it, but you're probably still playing bots because it doesn't like unleash you onto the real net for a little while there, but maybe not.
Yeah, it's probably true. In which case, like, I feel like I'm gonna be really. I don't know if I'm the right person to play Marvel Snap.
That's fine. It doesn't have. It's not for everyone. But it is a good game.
I don't want to throw my phone, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be
Yeah,
like
good,
that. So I just kind of stay away from it. But I'll say Neon White did the most interesting things I've ever seen with cards, and somehow like mash it up with a fucking FPS game. Not to mention, just like it's fun. It's fun speed running those levels. So.
Yep.
Needs to be talked about. The best Animal Crossing style game in 2022 is Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Wow. Let's go.
Did you play it?
I did. Yeah, I played.
You did. You did.
Like
believe it or not.
I played like 8 hours of that game. It's actually pretty fun. I recommend it.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you want like a decompression game where you don't want any stress and you just kind of want to hang out, just play that game, dude. Just sit down and fuck around, and you'll be like, okay, I could see the allure of it. You know what I mean? You're collecting Disney homies and building their little houses and stuff, and picking up shit off the floor.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
Love it. Hell yeah. My retro game of the year, and also I can't believe it that these games came out in 2022. There was a lot of games in 2022.
Yeah.
My runner-up is Monster Crown, which probably a lot of people have not heard of. It is it's essentially like a Pokemon-like, but like pixel art, like the original Red and Blue style.
Right.
And it's a really good game, actually. I did not finish it because it was unfortunately a little bit hard to get into the systems where, like, figuring out what beat what. You know what I mean? Like where, like, you know, because it's so intrinsic in Pokemon that, you know, you're like, oh yeah, fire beats, you know, whatever. But this is like, in here it was like evil versus like light or versus holy or something, and then there was like all these different traits. There was like poison or like I forget what they called it. They tried to specifically avoid all of the things that were like Pokemon-ish. So instead of like dark and fairy and stuff, it was like evil and holy or whatever, you know, different things like that. But it was a little hard to like really figure out the exact system, but it's pretty fun, and the story's good. and the world is cool, and the monsters are really cool. But yeah, crazy. This is my runner-up. But my
Nice.
winner for this category, which is retro game that I can't believe came out in 2022, is Windjammers 2.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
good job.
Windjammers.
Yeah, that's coming off.
Really?
That's coming off
Yeah.
of Game Pass, dude, and so I need to buy it.
Oh no. Okay, I might buy it at the discount that they give you when it comes off Game Pass.
Yeah, actually,
Because that's a fun one.
I think on Game Pass right now it's like $15, but on Steam it's $14.
Wow.
Might have to buy it on Steam. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a really good, fun arcade sports game, and the style of it is excellent. The music's excellent.
Excellent game. Play it immediately if you can.
Cheer.
Also, Ninja Turtles retro game.
That should have been on there too. Yeah, but
Retro
totally.
game. Good game. Good game. I had something in my brain. Miguel, you got any random shit?
Random shit.
Yeah, random shit.
Signalist? That was good. I
Oh,
haven't
nice.
yet, though.
Yeah.
I'd almost say that was kind of like a retro game in a sense. Pixelated.
Kind of like
Yeah.
a PlayStation 1 style, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like tank controls.
I believe so, yes.
Kind of like survival
Kinda weird,
horror-ish for
you're
sure.
playing an android of some sort, and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on at this government facility on I think it's an asteroid or a different planet.
Oh.
It's pretty interesting.
Cool.
I got to one of the first bosses that was fucking hard,
Yeah.
Oh.
but I like the style.
Hell yeah. A lot of people say that game's great. So, the best 3D platformer of 2022 is Tinykin, hands down.
Nice.
Hands down,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
You need to play this game. If you haven't played
I do.
Tinykin, you just need to play it. It's the same as when I say like with Vampire Survivors, you know. It's like, look, I can sit here and talk about how cool it is, but it's one of those type of games that the second you pick it up, you'll understand why I'm raving about it. It's just pure fun. Like,
Yeah, I watched a bunch of Pizza Man Sam's stream when he was playing this game, and yeah, it looks awesome. Got a little bit of Pikmin to it. Good.
just a tiny bit. But the art style's cute as hell. But it's still in a 3D space. It's just, I don't know. Everything about this game is joy. That's all I have
Hell
to
yeah.
say. So play Tinykin. Not enough people talking about Tinykin, I feel like.
And I think that
Yep.
that probably about does it, don't you think?
We could. Isn't there like another game? Let me see. Let me open
Well,
my...
I can tell you my most disappointing games of the year, but it felt kind of bad to end on a bad note.
Yeah, just do it.
All right.
Pentiment? Pentiment. For Miguel.
That was mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
My runner up is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Okay.
I didn't actually
Wow.
play Scarlet and Violet. I'm holding out on that one. I might eventually play it, but
Gee, I
Arceus
wonder why.
What was that?
I said, gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know the Pokemon company's one to patch games, but it just seems like pretty atrocious that it's out in the state that it is. Anyways, Arceus wasn't much better, man. Arceus ran like crap too, and it was just like, and it just looked like crap. It was just like, I don't know, man. I just wasn't. It was kind of boring. Like by the end of you're just catching stuff over and over again. There was no gym battles. I was just like, come on, man. It just felt like they were like testing the waters for Scarlet and Violet. But I'm like, I wish they would have just not put Arceus out at all, and then just like gave more attention to Scarlet and Violet. Anyways, that's my runner-up. Whatever. Pokemon's
Sad.
Pokemon. My winner for this, unfortunately, is Somerville.
Oh.
I didn't even hate this game. It's not even like necessarily a bad game. It's just that Inside and Limbo were so good that I was just a little let down by it because I really wanted to just love it, and it was pretty good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I haven't played Somerville still.
Hard to hear that as well.
That's a bummer. I've heard that it just doesn't live up to the expectations, although it's still like a decent game. So it makes sense why you'd say like, yeah, it's not, it didn't live up to your expectations.
Yeah, Inside and Limbo, like the physics just work so well, and like the gameplay's so
apart.
fluid, and there's like an animation for each thing. But then the 3D space in Somerville just doesn't. It makes it much more clunky and feel. I don't know. It just feels a lot more like buggy, sort of.
McClunky.
Clunky.
Yeah.
2 more games I want to mention outside the gate because I opened up my Steam library. That did come out this year. That at least need to be acknowledged. Number 1, Tabletop Simulator.
Whoa.
That came out this year. I think.
Didn't play it.
Didn't it? Wasn't that this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Possibly.
Super cool game. Like idea. You know what I mean? I've played a little bit of it, but if everyone had Tabletop Simulator, you could play any game. Like any board game ever. Because people just like essentially put the assets to every board game and rules in there. And you could just download them for free. You know? So it's just like a sandbox, essentially. And you could just play regular stuff in there too, like chess and checkers. So just really, really cool game that came out this year that needs to be mentioned as like worthy of at least mentioning. And then, of course, who could forget the best game I spent $8 on this year, Rift Tracks, the game. Very fucking good.
Nice.
Just like Jackbox, but Rift Tracks, like Mystery Science Theater 3000, where you just get really bad movies and you gotta like make up, jokes to make fun of the scene and stuff. Or there's a mode where you pick up, like it just gives you pre-written ones and you can use them kind of like Cards Against Humanity. But we've been loving that game. I keep whipping it out in social settings and people are loving it. So
hell yeah.
And that came out this year too. So there you go. Inscription
overall,
was last year,
it
right?
was Inscription was last year.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Overall, I think this was a like a really good year for games. Like I played like a ton of like a really diverse set of titles, I think, and like I think just having this podcast to like want to explore a little bit further to talk about like different stuff was cool because it made me like go outside the box, and we always are total suckers for Game Pass, but that helped too, just to try some different stuff. And I don't know, I think especially compared to last year, I just had like a lot more fun playing games this year than I did last year.
I'm simping for Game Pass.
Yeah.
But hey, at the tail end of this year, I got a PS5, and so now I have a massive backlog of those games to play. So who knows? I might talk about those next year or this year.
This year, man, it's January.
What I played at God of War Ragnarok is good. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. I need to play Horizon, but then I don't want to play the new one without playing the old one. It's just
the old one was fine. I liked elements of it. But
where am I going to find the time? Where am I going to find the time, guys? How am I going to do this? I don't have a chance, do I?
I don't know. It's just continuing to go on backlog and backlog and backlog. But you know what? You gotta play the Mileses of the Moraleses.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta play. I don't know if you think you'd play what's that one game? It's like the shmup that is like a roguelite.
Shoot 'em
came
up.
Came out on PlayStation 5. It's why can't I think of it?
I have been playing that. Returnal?
You're like Returnal. There it is.
I've been playing Returnal. I forgot about that. I have been playing Returnal. That game is good.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I got to keep playing that. Fuck, guys. There's just too many games. Too many games.
Hell yeah. And then the first half of next year is just going to destroy as well. So
PlayStation, I like your games.
This year.
I like your games. I don't know enough about them to put them in my best of 2022, but I do like them so far. What can I say?
Hell yeah.
Last thing before we get out of here. Mobile game. You have a mobile game? Marvel Snap?
Definitely Marvel Snap. Although, shout out to a game on mobile called Slice and Dice.
Oh, yes.
It's like a little,
Yeah, I do know. I got that game recently.
It's awesome. You essentially like pick different party members, and you're kind of going through this world. It's like a cool mobile setting. I really like it a lot. I just started getting into it, but my friend at the bar that I frequent told me to get it, and we were having some fun with it for sure.
Final Fantasy 3 is pretty fun on mobile.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing. Miguel, you got any
Nice
mobile games?
I haven't really been playing anything on my phone.
Play Marvel Snap.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's endorse something.
How about? Yeah, and I was thinking maybe instead of or we could do endorsements, but we could do kind of like New Year's resolution endorsements.
Well, it's either a resolution or endorsement, Gage. You got to pick one. So you want to do
like endorse something that you're gonna do this year or something.
No, I don't like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that. Just call the resolution, and we could do endorsements next time.
Okay, shit. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna do New Year's resolution endorsements.
Just won't give up. Just won't give up.
Okay. No, it's fine. I'm going to endorse the fact that I'm going to resolve or resolute to make some video reviews and more cool like video essay-ish things for the channel this year. Woo!
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Good.
My resolution is very simple. Music. Making music.
Nice.
That's right.
Love it.
You're gonna and a lot of production work. You know what I'm saying? Music, production on videos, music. That's the main thing.
Love it. Love it.
2023,
dude.
the
Yeah.
year of the music, baby. Let's go. Miguel? What's your I don't know what you're calling it anymore, Gage.
I honestly just want to work out more.
Oh.
Hell
nice.
yeah. Well, yeah, we all
Classic
need
one.
to do that too.
Yeah, need to get up. Get your asses out of this chair right here, Jacob.
I need to get my ass back to the gym like I used to.
Nice.
Actually.
Cool. You like burpees?
No one likes burpees, Jacob.
No one likes them, but they are good. Yeah, for sure.
No one
Okay.
likes burpees.
Yeah, just making sure. I hate that.
You know what I've been doing is I've been playing The Witcher 3, and every time I complete a quest, I do 10 push-ups, and it gets really tough, really fast.
Really?
I think I might put it down to 5 because you complete quests pretty fast in that game if you're just doing like the little Witcher content.
Throw some crunches in there too, man.
That's a good call. I should switch up the exercise.
Hit some other areas. I guess I'll run some shit this year. I don't know. Gotta lose some weight, guys.
Hey man, I'm fighting that dad bod. You know what I'm saying?
And then of course.
No, don't fight it.
What?
If
No,
anyone
go
should
for
have
it.
it's probably you.
Yeah, dude. You know you'll be a zaddy in the future. You got this.
There you go.
Zaddy. That's what I should be calling you, man. The Zaddy Supreme.
Just call him
Zaddy
from now on.
Supreme, yeah. Shotgun blasting Zaddy Supreme. Fucking Luke Shots first.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
That's
There it
great.
is.
I was gonna ask a funny question, but I forgot. I was gonna ask you to explain the plot of something, but then I forgot, guys. So I don't know. Someone explain something. Explain something confusing to me, Miguel.
Explain the plot of 1899, Gage.
Oh gosh.
It's canceled,
no,
so it doesn't matter.
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. If you take a circle, right? You make a circle on a page with a compass, and then you take the radius of that circle, and then you put the compass onto the actual circle itself.
Mhm.
You can take the compass around 6 times, right? And then
Okay.
from those 6 marks that you make around the circle, using the distance of the radius of the circle, you can then make a construction which makes a 6-sided star that looks like the Seal of Solomon or the Jewish star.
Oh.
And then you can do all sorts of stuff from there. So if you want to do some geometry,
Oh.
you can do it all with a compass and ruler. No need for other stuff.
That was great. At first, I thought you were going to do the thing where it's like, this is a straight line. Now fold it and push the pencil through. That's teleportation. I thought you were going to do one of those.
Oh, yeah.
But instead, you said something complicated and great. So thank you, bud.
Yeah, good job.
Good job.
There you
Good
go.
job.
Very well.
And on that note, get out there with your spiral graphs and start making spirals. And why don't you tweet us or something at NPD Squad? I think you could see it on the screen below on Twitter. Yeah, you might end up
Were
with
you
one of
doing
those.
that earlier? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. And that's it. That's it, guys. We've come to the
guys. Good to
end
be
of
back with
the
y'all.
episode. We're gonna be back next week, every Wednesday, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
I don't know. We might switch to Tuesdays or something. I don't know. We'll Tuesday or Wednesday. Neon Pocket Dimension.
You posted.
Bow,
Sometime during the week.
bow, 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 bow. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.